discussing all along that there's a weakness to Fnatic's safe lane in the early stages. So that's where MVP are going to focus their pressure.
Oh, Net
This
Medusa.
this is what Fnatic did in game 1 against MVP, right? They just went for aggressive try lane with Enchantress and like got ahead from there.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, Dubu's busy drawing on the map. I can hear the scribbles. You know, it's actually QO. That's the one drawing out onto the map. Let's take a quick look. No TPs going out towards his lanes just yet. DJ, I think, is going to go for one, though. He's been given observers and sentries. Brown boots first. And I like this. I've not really been a massive fan of the players that still go Orb of Venom level 1 on the Bounty Hunter. The brown boots give you so much maneuverability, not just in lane, but from lane to lane. Control runes, you look for courier snipes, you have just so much more availability to make a nuisance of yourself after these side lanes. And well, Batrider, don't know what he's drawing and signaling on the map, maybe to get up onto the high ground and limit how much Enchantress can get from the jungle and ward it up as much as he possibly can. Yeah, DJ just TP's out towards mid. He's actually going to head towards the northwest here. I guess he'll go for that high ground observer ward and then a sentry to block the camp in the back here.
Currently, Dubu is heading towards the safe lane. I was pretty confident that they'd go with their Void. I mean, protecting the Beastmaster's farm could be really good as well. Like, BM getting good timing in this game. I mean, the Anti-Mage was banned, and we were talking about other heroes that could have the mana burn. Beastmaster is actually really good against Medusa. Beastmaster, Necro 3 early on, that is one way to deal with the Medusa.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Let's try and roar up net. Forev. Oh, dearie me. Poor man shield and Tangos gets an observer ward down as well. It does not block that little camp, but it'll just give good vision for Forev. In the meantime, oh, net. You do have to be a little bit careful here. Forev could chase you down. 300 move speed against 290. He's got way more damage, more armor, more everything. You can't trade hits with him at all as the Medusa just yet. That's the Fnatic though, 343 on his kind of signature Vengeful Spirit. DJ, a roaming Bounty Hunter, while mid one Puck. Who's he going to be handling here? The QO mid Juggernaut, poor man shield, and already with the nice little tangos and fairy fire for him. Dubu Disruptor with MP Beastmaster down towards the safe lane, and of course Febby. Sentries, dust and smoke. Looks like he will be trying to play a little more reactively to the Bounty Hunter, try and get a couple of creeps and deal with DJ. Rather than just doing the farming thing or doing the safe lane or the off-lane dual lane thing. Well, he definitely cannot do the off-lane dual lane thing because of all these blocked up camps and the observer wards giving vision here for Fnatic.
So this is the thing, because MVP are not setting up the off-lane dual lane or off-lane tri-lane, I just, like, it's fine for them because protecting the Beastmaster early on is actually really good, but it gives the advantage back to the Bounty Hunter in terms of taking initiative early on. Like, I think that the Disruptor and the Enchantress need to, they now need to react to the Bounty Hunter's movements rather than the other way around. And I saw something interesting at the beginning at the bot lane. MP actually had one of his boars just like sitting with Dubu, saying like daring the Bounty Hunter to start harassing the Disruptor.
No. Juggernaut already off to an okay start. Gonna try and get a few hits in onto mid one, but this Puck, you can't trade hits like that really. The Orb was an attempt at doing a bit more damage back to him as DJ turns in. Gets a couple of swipes onto MP. Beastmaster having a rough time down here. This dual lane against the Batrider alone is already pretty nasty. With the sticky napalms coming out.
Look at the top lane, look what creep Febby found.
Oh.
It's the game-winning creep.
Of course he gets the Satyr. 343 is hiding back behind the tree line and Net being dived by Forev. He's got his bash and he's got the time walk as well, and
They're gonna kill him.
This Orb of Venom is here, the Satyr Blast, and the damage output comes through. Fairy Fire heals himself up. A Wave of Terror across, but Net's still getting chased down. Forev jumps forward to cut through the trees, and Net is on the retreat out. Hot pursuit though, as this Satyr just keeps blasting through. Febby slows down Net as well. The Enchanter's there, and Forev will just dive in behind the tree line and look for the right clicks through. Net has no mana left and no mana shield remaining to save him, and the blast will finish him off as Febby secures the first blood for MVP.
Yeah, so no other creep. There's no other creep they make that play with. But actually, it's successful gank onto the Juggernaut at the mid lane, who I guess I don't know if you caused any of that. I guess the DD from the bounty hunter helped so that the spin wouldn't be enough to actually save him.
The double null from Puck as well.
Yeah. So all that extra damage investment, and that's important because I was gonna say MVP get the best of both worlds if their disruptor helps Beastmaster, and then Enchantress alone can just with the dual lane destroy the safe lane. So the bounty hunter has to get something done, and he does. He gets to kill the mid lane, and he's come to the top lane to help out here too now.
He's scouted out though, and Febby with sentries and dust and all that nonsense will be able to keep tabs on DJ as well. But Ohio's Batrider, he's moved off this bottom lane and he's looking to farm up the jungle a little bit more, blocking up camps, making sure there's no pulls or anything from Disruptor. As Dubu is on level 3. And back towards mid, QO dropping very low. DJ comes in, one swipe and a shuriken is all he needs. Oh, barely. Fairy Fire keeps QO alive. The final right click comes through and the orb. Oh, scraps past him. Mid one diving in behind this tier 1. QO dead though. And mid one's going to survive through with a nice phase shift as well. Up at top lane though, they're diving onto Net again with a troll trap and ensnare. Net turns back with Mystic Snake and Febby dropping low, but Net is slowed. Forev with that orb of venom, just ripping him to shreds. There's no mana left after the stick charges, it doesn't even matter. Walks into the creep wave and dies.
Alright, so the off lane as expected is going really well for MVP, the mid lane not as well. I actually saw the beginning of that chase in the mid lane. It was actually QO diving mid one at his tower. That's why mid one was so low. He was on like 30 HP because QO tried to spin him at the tower and he just managed to orb away on time. And turns around, comes back with the next orb, and it's really impressive what mid one did there. Honestly, like how many pucks would actually jaunt to their orb with like 30 HP behind the enemy tower, and then underneath the tower aggro, attack the hero twice. Just like trust that you're not going to draw it because your teammate's doing that.
And then go deny yourself to Ancients. Good stuff by mid one.
Yeah, he's quite the player.
He is very good. Acceptable skill level for this, I think.
But yeah, so that's, and in the last hits department he's also doubling up on Cure, and he was even before the first time they killed him, so doing really well to take control over that lane. Which is actually, in some sense, I feel like it's more important to Fnatic that they pack does well early than they Medusa does well early, because the pack and the bat can make space for the Medusa to make a comeback, whereas Medusa, if she was the one doing well early, she's not really gonna go around making space for them to make a comeback.
Well, currently the Puck is bossing this lane, doubling up on the last hits of QO. Does QO even have a bottle yet? He doesn't, right? It's 5 minutes in, Juggernaut only has Poor Man's Shield. No bottle, no boots, while mid one double null bottle. And the boots coming out as well. This is a great lead for the Puck already to have over on the Juggernaut. And the Beastmaster, where you're looking to really get this kind of trade-off for MVP, right? He's meant to be the safe lane Beastmaster, farming nicely. Stick charges are up to 10, but Ohio has been given a hell of a lot of room here, and you don't even have level 6 with the Roar available. And I think a lot of this comes down to DJ. He's got his arcane boots, he's level 4 almost, and he's just roaming from lane to lane. There isn't a lane or a spot he hasn't been in yet. You know, he's moved himself all the way around from bot to mid to top to wherever the hell he wants to go.
Yeah, he's moving to the right places at the right times for sure. And he got helped a bit at the start with that DD rune and with the fighting happening in mid lane. Like, both the times they've killed Cure is sort of willingly engaging in fighting. It's tough because the Juggernaut can't really out-farm the Puck. It's gonna get out-farmed, it's gonna get out-harassed. And so Cure, you know, he wants to contest the lane by threatening kills, by actually fighting it. But because he does that, he opens himself up to being killed, and he's been punished for it twice now.
And the way this game's progressing, Net on this Medusa is always one of those heroes that can definitely farm decently, even after a poor laning stage, doesn't need that good early start, scales well. I do wonder what build he's going to go for, though. Lincoln Sphere is going to be good against the Roar and the Glimpse back. There's not too much. Actually, there's not really anything apart from Thunderstrike that can cancel out the Lincoln Sphere. Apart from maybe the first hit of the Omni Slash. But I don't know. Have you seen a lot of Medusas recently?
No, not really. I think he will go for Lincolns. I think he goes Phase maybe, and then Lincolns, and maybe a Ring of Aquila in between there. And then for the big items like the Mantis Style and I don't know, maybe he'll just do the slashes where Phase boots Rapier.
Please no.
Would be entertaining for our viewers, certainly.
Just go 4 Rapiers. Phase boots, wand, 4 Rapiers. That's the way to go. That's definitely what I want to see. Forever having a few difficulties here, reconnecting to the game, it looks like, trying to get Trying to get some ping out of his system. He's already got his poor man shield, and with the brown boots up, Febby, phase boots, oh look at that. Attack damage and movement speed galore, and a satyr has spawned. I think Fnatic have spotted this. They pinged it out. Can they see this? I think they saw the satyr spawn with that high ground observer ward. So they'll know that a satyr is coming. And tier 1 just going to take a pummeling here as Net backs himself away. Doesn't want to get caught out by this one. DJ still roaming around down the bottom lane. Helping out Ohio against these boars and the Beastmaster. There's still a stack and a pull for Dubu to get his levels up, while QO is giving up on lane for now. Gets his bottle delivered to him. Tries to clear out some jungle camps, but it's really, really heavy trekking here for him.
Oh, DJ might be about to give Dubu some trouble, and Dubu seems to be a little bit aware of this. Although, he does get found here.
There's no reveal.
Yeah, so it's dangerous, especially until the Beastmaster gets level 6. Obviously DJ didn't want to dive the tower, but if he were to find the Disruptor off the tower, like roaming around the jungle, that would be really bad for him. And actually mid one could even consider coming down to this bot lane for rotation now.
And in the meantime, Forev's given a free lane up at top. He's closing on level 6, taking down the tier 1 with the help of Febby, and this opens Febby up to go and rotate as well. And you're right, mid one is making a nice little beeline towards the bottom lane.
He did get spotted by the Disruptor. They just briefly saw each other, so I think that's why he goes back.
Maybe now he'll walk into Febby, or he's going to go back towards mid. DJ, he's waiting on his buddy to arrive to lane, but QO's already retreated back over his own ramp. MP and Febby though. There's the roar into mid one, and the damage output, it looks good enough, but he's still got an orb and a phase shift to jump himself away. The silence is there, but he doesn't actually jaunt across. And even so, Dubu was ready with a kinetic field to hold him in place if he did so.
Yeah, they were a bit too aware of his... There was actually a ward. I mean, the Disruptor saw him, but there was also a ward, so I think they were just aware of mid one's presence the whole time.
And this actually leads them to a tier 1 push at mid. Level 1 Inner Beast with the double boars, and nice little Hellbear Smasher with the aura as well. It's going to expire soon though. There's no wave clear to stop them pushing into this. DJ, level 5, no tracks. He's got the level 3 in the Shuriken, and now mid 1 Dream Coil. Lands it down onto 3, and QO just holding onto the spin as long as he possibly can, but mid 1 still looking for MP. The silence isn't going to land, but this Beastmaster's still in a ton of trouble with a magic missile finally from 343. Will clear up the BM. And they've taken so much, they've alleviated so much pressure from this top lane. Void has come off, he's low HP, Net is given free farm for a little while as well. And while bottom lane, Dubu's chased by Ohio. Disruptor found by the Batrider, and they push into tier 1 bottom.
And this is, I mean, it's a hero that thrives on your team having the initiative, your team having the momentum, and QO's being chased down. I think he might get away. It's going to be pretty difficult now.
Looks like his death with the 3 points in Waning Rift. Mid 1 got just in range for that and waited for his spin to end.
Yeah, it's...
middle tower is under attack.
And just, yeah, to get value out of a Disruptor pick when you're not the aggressor is really difficult. So it's kind of like, those are your two modes as Disruptor. Your team is snowballing and you keep glimpsing people back for kills, or you're just desperately trying not to feed. Like, it doesn't have an in-between mode.
QO is having an incredibly rough time. 0-3 and 0. He's got his Omni Slash now at the very least to try and maybe find a kill somewhere. But Febby's Enchantress, Phase Boots moving into the drums as quickly as you can. Refill the bottle mid there as Ohio picks it up and heals back onto it, but it's 800 gold until mid one has the Blink Dagger, and once again I'm just going to point out, Net has been left alone up at top lane. MVP have switched all their efforts to try and save QO basically. Keep him alive and allow him to farm a little bit more, and this is what they've done in the previous games. Give QO an easier time if he's had a rough start, and he's definitely capable of coming back into this and playing hyper aggressively after just, you know, recovering a tiny bit. Still looking at Batrider having Blink Dagger and 700 gold, the availability of the jungle to farm through it, and also mid one's Puck just jaunting and jumping, making Forev's life a living hell, but I think Forev's looking maybe for a Chronosphere here as well as a jump. The DJ will keep tabs on him. Maybe even scout out the smoke movement in from MVP. DJ sitting very far back, interesting positioning here for him. Not really a saving support. Kind of positioned like one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not safe for him to go further forward, and he just wants to be nearby in case a dive happens. But Net's actually TP'd to the mid lane, so this is Fnatic. I mean, I guess he can just come to farm, but they're also aware of the fact that there might just be a dive. Their tower's very low, and they knew there were a lot of heroes nearby.
They see no one on the map at this point. They saw the Juggernaut flash top. But yeah, Fnatic, they felt like something was about to kick off, and it looked like it was, but Ohio still just continues farming. Fnatic know that once they get their double blink dagger up on these two heroes, the bat and the puck, their life becomes so much easier. Jumping and catching out these kills, building up the track gold, and allowing DJ to just flow that gold into their coffers as well. While it also buys space for Net. I'm just wondering though, 343, he's managed to get himself level 6 and might be looking for a swap up at top, but this Hawk, giving vision from MP, knowing exactly where Fnatic are heading.
Radiant's bottom
And MVP
TJ
is
has
under attack.
TJ's got more net worth than Cure.
Kuro has had an absolute trash laning stage.
Yeah.
Not particularly his fault, it's just that puck with the roam in from the Bounty Hunter, and like we said during the draft, there's no reactive support here from MVP, there's no one to TP in and say, stop, just stop. There's no Earth Spirit, there's no Witch Doctor or Dazzle, there's only a Disruptor. And Disruptor had to be on bottom lane to safeguard the Beastmaster, and Febby had to be up on top lane to give Forever a good time. So Kuro was literally just left to his own devices, dealing with things that way. He's going to go in now with a haste and look for 343, but he can't spin. Now he might get swapped back. The stun disjointed, dodged out, but the track comes through. DJ, there's a TP here from Kuro, but I think it's too late. Mid one will jaunt himself forward. The only slash back onto them, but there's 3 targets here. Silenced up and Kuro's dead. It's a track kill for 3 heroes, and Fnatic will get themselves a ton of cash.
Yeah, Cure had to TP as
Chrono,
span.
bottom lane, impetus shots are good onto Net. Somehow keeps himself healed up through it though and turns it back around with the stone gaze out. Forev is trapped in and Enchantress is dead. Ohio's jumped in and now they're looking for Forev. Jumps himself across with a time walk to get away. And swap back in. The stunned, disabled, lassoed up, and Forev. Oh, they wanted Net so badly. They might be able to get the Void out, but no, not quite enough. Doesn't sustain himself through. But what healed up Net there?
I don't know.
You
Did he get healed? It just must have been his magic wand.
I mean, unless I'm either blind or my brain is slow or I had lag, because I'm sure he used like stick inside Chrono or something, but it might just be me being dumb.
I don't know. I didn't see that happen, but those are mostly all track kills, right? I think the top one was, one of the bot ones was. I don't know if they both were, but this is. Yeah, I don't know. I talked about it in the draft, and I still feel like this is a game that's difficult for MVP to come into from behind. The Medusa makes it a bit easier because the Medusa's not as useful early on, but MVP in danger in this game, very early on in danger, and a lot is on the Beastmaster, who's about to probably get a kill for himself at least.
I'll finally catch Ohio, but he's pretty tanky with the Fairy Fire back. MP's going to drop in the Firefly, and Forev's trapped as well. He gets a bash onto Ohio, and he's taken out at long last by MP's little units, but swap back onto Febby with a jump forward from mid one, trying to catch out Dubu. The Silence and the Orb is there as well. He now switches back targets onto Febby. The sprinting little Enchantress is a Shuriken to cancel a TP, and another track kill for Fnatic. This is an absolute disaster for MVP. They're having difficulties finishing her off, but with one final orb from mid one, they'll secure it 4-12, losing only the Batrider. And they even got a pick off on QO at mid. The Juggernaut 0-5 and 0 scant. I don't know what MVP do to get back into this, because the Bounty Hunter has a mech completed.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say before that fight, if they could still get a good Necro 3 timing, that's still a very good item against all of Fnatic's heroes. Maybe that's the difference maker, but he's only at Necro 1, he's got no gold, and after that fight, the lead just escalates so much. Yeah, we're talking about this is an aggressive lineup from Fnatic, and they've got the Medusa, which is normally like a slow farming hero. But if the Medusa's there all the time for the kills with all the track gold, it's gonna get the items anyway in the process.
And you've got the double blinks and a 7,500 net worth lead, close to 8,000 experience lead for Fnatic. Even the Vengeful Spirit sitting level 8 with 900 gold, not as poor as you could imagine. This Dubu Disruptor's feeling, because 1,000 net worth is not a hell of a lot. And MVP, it looks like they're going to be moving now on the aggressive, wanting to use this Chronosphere from Forever as well as maybe the Impetus damage from Febby. But the 5-man group up from Fnatic with the Blink Lasso means that Febby, who's just shown himself, not going to get jumped there. Ohio, maybe thinking twice about it. Or maybe he's got different targets in mind, because if you jump the Void, that's a lot of MVP's teamfight capability just gone down the drain.
Yeah, well, right now I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Void could get a really good chrono and they could still lose a fight quite easily.
Oh, it was snake mana. That's what brought Net's mana back. Thank you, chat. I love you guys. He threw the snake and then got chrono, then he got all his mana back. I'm just really dumb.
Oh, it was his mana. See, I thought you were talking about health. And I was
no.
like, there's surely nothing that could. But
Static Storm. Oh dear. Even with a roll back onto Ohio, he's healed up with the max. Chrono lands as well, but it's a 3-man dream call with the silence as well. 3-4-3 turns back to stun up Febby, but Fnatic have lost the battle right, and now jumping forward. The Firefly's still out with a stone gaze from the Medusa. DJ has dropped, but Forev, does he have a time walk? He does in a second. They're just going to try and stop him and catch him out. He's dead! Doesn't get it off, with QO still trying to fight through this and battle on. Mid one clears up too, and QO's left to his own devices. Picks up a bracer as the courier. No, not quite going to drop there. 3 for 2 with a number of track kills out. Fnatic still looking good.
yeah, and again, that's kind of what I was talking about. A lot of the things go well for MVP in that fight. They get a pretty good chrono. They get it alright Omni Slash, and the Beastmaster gets his raw off, gets his Necros off, but they're still there. The game is just escaping them so quickly. It's slipping away from them, and I don't know. I feel like we're already at the point where Fnatic keep themselves together, stay composed, and don't make mistakes like wandering off alone, getting picked off a lot. They're in really, really good shape here. Like 90 plus percent chance to win, I think. Ball in their court.
For sure. And Net's Medusa, 6.3k net worth. Yasha doesn't even finish off the Boots of Speed into phase or treads. Maybe even looks for the Boots of Travel or something, because QO has been hunting down, or being hunted down. This middle lane. So many heroes from Fnatic just ready to pounce and jump. The swap range for 3-4-3's ready to save his mate. Net is up on the front lines looking for this tier 1 damage, but Forev, Chronosphere's on cooldown, buddy. 35 seconds. You can't really jump in here and do too much. You've got Vlad's and Lasso, but it's now just going to be QO that dies instantly. Forev's chased out. The track is here as well. The Stone Gauge tries to slow them down, and it's a good swap, but it's Static Storm traps in 3-4-3 and Net. I'm going to chase down Febby with a Firefly over the top of them. The stick Napalm charge is stacking up as well, and Enchantress, not long for this world. There's another Dream Call onto 2. The Silence catches them as well. Mid-one doesn't finish off the kills though, and the Glimpse back traps him. Phase Shift available, tries to bottle up through it. Mid-one keeps himself alive. The Orb is available. No! Could he not Phase Shift?
I thought he could. That's what it looked like to me.
Unless it was like time dilation that kept it on cooldown for a fraction of a second or something.
Yeah, it looked available to me. Maybe just slightly missing out on that. At the same time, his team did kill the Beastmaster. That was a track kill, and we need to point out that when the 4-position Bounty Hunter is the 3rd richest person in the game, and richer than everyone on the enemy team, that's pretty worrying. Okay, Faceless Void overtakes him for a few seconds, but right behind there's also the Bat. So this is like, we're one fight away from there being 4 Fnatic heroes right at the top of the net worth.
I mean, potentially even the Vengeful Spirit. Venge isn't far away from that pack. 3,700 away, not too far away even from the Beastmaster. Only 600 difference between your 5 roll and the 1 roll, potentially, here.
Yeah, I mean, this Bounty Hunter's only killed 20 creeps, 1 creep a minute, but he's got Guardian Greaves at 18 minutes into the game. And that's like, sometimes understated, I think, that item itself. That's like a huge impact item for this early on. I was talking about Beastmaster getting a Necro 3, I mean, he's still a Necro 1. Greaves is something like that. In these early fights, having those Greaves just makes it that much more difficult for MVP to achieve anything.
Actually killing people off and finishing them. Even with impetus damage and Aurora and all that. You're right. Could be a tough spot for them.
All the extra bonuses from the Greaves when you go low. It just really, like in these fights, it's happening a lot where heroes go low and other heroes go low, and who can finish who, or suddenly you have a Greaves. In that situation, Puck is never going to die, for example.
MVP, they've drawn on the map saying they want to go smoke themselves aggressively into the jungle. This tier 2 at top, it's not the most valuable of towers. I would be more interested to see them go and take the tier 1 bottom lane and maybe try and secure around Roshan. Fnatic don't have the best Rosh taking lineup, but with the lead they have and with a Wave of Terror level 4, it's not going to be difficult for them to take. But I don't think either team is really too focused on the Aegis. Fnatic don't need it, and MVP probably feel too scared to go in there.
Yeah, And it's interesting the dynamic of this series so far. It just feels like in every game, Fnatic's the team that has the early timings. They've got the potential for the early aggression, putting the pressure on MVP. And for an international audience that had only seen MVP playing recently at the Shanghai Major or DOTA Pit, you'd think they're the team that's always the aggressors. But it's not. I mean, this is a point that I made when I was on the panel at the Shanghai Majors, that MVP historically have not always been that team. If they're playing inside the Southeast Asia region, a lot of the SEA teams are actually more aggressive and earlier timing than they are, and they end up moving into the role of like, yes, we want to fight you and we're going to miraculously beat you in fights, but we're actually the sort of slower moving team a lot of the time in these games. And it's typified this series that Fnatic's just been too fast for them, and too fast for Forever with that pick off. They're going to chase after Febby and
Tries to
can't
TP
TP
out. It's just tragedy after tragedy here. MVP
Dire's bottom
lose another 2, and that's another 2 track kills, right?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yep.
More money for Fnatic. And while Net is pushing top
Dire's
tier
bottom
1.
tower is under
MP
attack.
finally chunks down the bottom tier 1 though. Gets himself enough money for his Necro 2s. But Vengeful Spirit, 343's here to solo defend, glimpse back a little bit further, but intelligently TP to the tier 3 back behind so he doesn't get glimpsed into any dangerous situation.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Net finally finished off the phase boots up at top, but he's also got DJ as well as Ohio lurking around across in the trees.
You spoke about how the Venge even could catch up and has now overtaken the Enchantress, so one step closer to catching up to the pack. Got that Ether Lens on Vengeful Spirits. Actually a really, really good item on the hero. We don't see it as often as we might, just because it's usually in like a 5 position, don't get any items role, this hero. But it really makes a huge difference to have that extra swap range. It's very, very dangerous for the enemy team, but you can save people or you can just initiate out of nowhere. It's almost like the old level 3. The old level 3 swap range is... Yeah, actually it is, I think, at this point.
And having
much
level 11
the-
on your Venge at this point is insane as well. Because Beastmaster is level 10. Your 1 role position Beastmaster is level 10, while Vengeful Spirit is level 11. Absolutely insane gains here by Fnatic. Necro 2 is finally done, and I wonder if they'll utilize this with Aurora as well. Try and smoke up and just run at Fnatic. Try and find anything you can. That's what you've got to do at this moment, is just go. Go somewhere. Do something. Forever.
And this is the thing that actually for me typifies MVP. When you and I used to cast them, maybe even a year ago, like it's not just about fighting, because actually all of Southeast Asia likes fighting. MVP is the team that no matter how far behind they are, they still try to get back into the game by going for a play, going for a fight, going for what looks like a smoke into rush in this case. They're very like forward-thinking team, and I like that about them. Like they don't sit and stew and sulk about the fact that they're behind. They look for a way to get back in.
It just might be that way, drawing on the map. Fnatic know this is happening, but Roshan, he is already dead. This is still a fight, though, that Fnatic could take even against the Aegis, and Net will just walk in with a Stone Gaze. Going to catch on to numerous heroes and Dreamcall onto Forever as well. He's looking for the Chrono, but he's going to get lassoed up, and Ohio trapped in the Void. They're going to take him out before he can even get that Chrono out. The Static Storm will now trap in 3-4-3, but it's only the Vengeful Spirit. The Omnislash bounces back between them all, but mid one jumps forward aggressively. The spin onto 3-4-3. The Vengeful Spirit keeps itself alive even through the QO damage. Loses the Aegis, but Febby drops as well. A buyback from the Void here. This might be the chance to get the jump in the Chrono, but it's only going to be able to save QO. They can't do any damage with it. They go back onto Net, but just look, chipping away slowly but surely. 2 stick charges away and the 4 staff as well. Net keeps himself away from danger, and QO turned back around on with Forev battering away. DJ, he's got another Shuriken in 5 seconds time. The time dilation though slows it down. Now he's got it available in mid one. He's still alive. Another silence and a no forward, and Forev's caught. The buyback might turn to dieback, but they want QO instead. The jump forward, the orb and the damage, it's all there. But Fnatic, they have done it. 5 heroes dead here in a moment as Forev, he can time walk. Mid one, he can jump. So can Ohio, and Net is closing the gap. The Net, oh, it's trapping him in. I don't know if Forev can escape this one. He's keeping himself alive. There's Yule Scepter in 7. It looks like he's okay with another time dilation back. Still,
Fnatic need to go back.
4 heroes and 1 buyback. Well, I guess it was 5 heroes with 1 buyback from the Faceless Void. The swap, 3-4-3. Glimpsed back as well. And Ohio, he just runs himself forward. Febby's taking a lot of damage. The Roar is over on the eastern side, but Febby's dropping low. The time dilation from Forev. Slows things down a little bit, but he's still going to try and output damage. The Roar and the Necro 3s, they're already out, but the tracks keep flowing through, and Ohio slowed down but forces himself back over the tree lines as well. MP stunned up at 343, just whacked into him. QO doesn't have it on his side, he's got to spin as well, but the Static Storm from Dubu tries to trap him in. It's just MVP scrambling, drastically trying to do anything they possibly can. Even DJ is not even dying. Nearly catches MP out, but finally the bloody bounty hunter will drop. And 343 in the field. MVP will get 3. But Scant, is it enough? They lost so much. Is it 4? Ohio? Omni Slash is there.
It's not enough, but it's extremely scrappy from Fnatic. That they chased the Void for so long that the next fight came up and they weren't really in a position to take the next fight. They had very low mana on all of their heroes. They weren't ready. Like, they had the Guardian Greaves coming up the second time. I think it's very much unnecessary for Fnatic to give away those kills. I think that they can go back up to the initial fight. And the initial fight, to me, kind of proved that no matter what happens, MVP can't win a fight. They get the rush, they get like the positioning to start the fight. The Chrono didn't come out immediately, but there was a lot committed on the Void anyway. I just think Fnatic are too strong when they've got everything ready, and MVP are not going to be able to win a fight. So for Fnatic to go into that position where they take a fight without everything ready, with low HP and low mana on heroes, it's a little bit sloppy. It's a little bit unnecessary, but in the bigger picture, they are monumentally, they are so far ahead, it shouldn't matter.
It swung about 5,000 gold away of MVP. What does it give them? There's no Dragonlance on Febby. QO has a Yasha now. MP got his Necro 3s right, and he's close to Blink Dagger, so that's something they can look forward to. While Dubu's trying to build into the Aghanim Scepter. They still have Fnatic as the favourites in this one. Forev, 300 off the Blink. But MVP are the ones playing aggressively again.
Paka and Bounty Hunter both just bought Dagons, so good luck staying alive. Whoever they decide to burst down is going to explode.
Are they going to smoke themselves up, Fnatic? It doesn't look like they've got any. Well, this Skadi completed. Oh man, Net is going to be so tanky and difficult to handle. That Medusa just going to walk up to the front lines. Forev, he's got Blink now, and he'll buy it straight up. What a clowny fight, though.
Fnatic just need to keep themselves composed. I mean, it's obviously, you could see what they were thinking. They just demolished the enemy team, and it's only a Void alive. They have 4 heroes chasing after it, but that is just the nature of this hero. Like, if you don't have your full arsenal of, like, there's certain ways that your composition can kill a Void, and there's certain ways they can't. It doesn't matter how many heroes you have, if you don't have the tools that you need to kill the Void, it doesn't matter how far ahead you are in the game, he's just going to keep time walking.
Net has a DD rune though. Oh, tier 2. Glyphed up. Stalling tactics here as MVP wants to take tier 2 up a top lane, and Forev is farming mid with the help of a Sata to push this one out as hard as they can. But Net wants to utilize his double damage for as long as he possibly is able to. The rest of Fnatic have actually smoked up behind him with the Skadi completed. Net just walks up onto high ground. MVP going to go for a trade here. Doesn't look like they want to fight at all. They're going to go for the tier 3s. This might be good for them because there's no way they can switch back. And yeah, Fnatic, they TP back, looking to try and catch out Forev with Lasso forward. The mid one, there's a silence, and Forev obliterated, ceases to exist with the Static Storm dropped onto bloody no one. It's just going to be the TPing Medusa that gets caught inside of it. Omnislash back on 343, but catches Net as well. And QO, he spins to victory, but what's the victory? 343 swaps himself out and Febby's gone. QO will TP himself away to safety, but MP is trapped over on the side. He's got to buy himself a teleportation scroll, but I think you just walk into the fountain at this point. Buys a blink, sells a blink, buys a blink, sells a blink, tries to get the cooldown there, but it's not going to be available for him. He tried the sneaky move of buying a blink and putting it in his inventory just after getting hit by someone to blink and TP. But MVP, they look for the trade. They get it. They get the tier 3 for tier 3. But they lose a 4-for-1 fight as well.
Yeah, I mean, structurally it seems like for the position they're in to get a tier 3 for tier 3 is insane. But exactly, if Fnatic recognize, like, if we just don't let them pull out, we're obviously going to win the fight. Because Fnatic are always going to win the fight at this stage in the game. As long as they're ready and have all their spells ready, have all their HP and mana, there isn't really a chance of MVP winning a fight right now.
2 outer towers remaining. Oh, they've seen Febby. Febby, this is very far forward. Track, not thrown by DJ. Jump forward, Time Walk and Blink onto net. And the Chrono is here. But this damage is good onto this Medusa, but she's tanking. A great swap from 343 sends her back with Manta Style out. The Vengeful Spirit will be the only one to lose her life for now. The lasso forward, Forev zapped down into oblivion. He's not dying just yet though. He's actually being able to Time Walk himself forward. And the overslash from Huo clears up the Medusa, while mid one is glimpsed back into death. This is MVP. This is their strength, battling and fighting through it all. Mid one is going to try and joint himself away from this one, but I don't think he's got the availability. The Medusa illusions are doing a lot, but mid one finally up onto the high ground. Wanders away.
I don't know if MVP knew it, or if they just thought they had to take the risk, but Puck was far away, and that's the difference maker in that situation. Puck was up at the top lane, had to run all the way down. There was no tier 1 mid to TP2, and too much damage had been done in the time that the Puck got there. So MVP managed to actually win a fight, and I still believe that in straight up 5v5, everyone's there, everyone's got everything available. They shouldn't be winning.
Whew. Hello, goodbye. Ohio's in a spot of bother though. Going to try and get himself over the high ground. The Scepter is there as well, and a Blink Dagger in one, but Forever ready to damage him back into this. Mid one chases down Febby, the Firefly over the top of them. Chased as well, but it's a swap back. QO not able to latch onto DJ, and 343 is just manhandling this Juggernaut. Takes down the healing ward, while mid one, Hot Pursuit needs to really catch up to this. Ohio has killed the Enchantress really deep in there over to the river. The disjoint of the stun, but the track is still here. Mid one, Yules and Dagon available, and this should be a dead QO regardless of scenario. I really don't think there's any way out. We've seen Tiga Dua Dua turn into Anam Umpat, but I don't know if Fnatic are really going to throw this one anymore. Every time they give something away, they take back more than MVP really are able to give.
Yeah, this is the thing about Fnatic's draft. It's none of their fighting potential is based on long cooldowns. So MVP finally find an opening, Puck's not there, they get a good trade, and then they try and push it further. But Fnatic's heroes are mostly alive, ready to come fight them, and they've got everything they need. Whereas MVP had used their Omni Slash, they'd used their Roar, they'd used their Chronosphere, they've got them now again, but you know, it's not like MVP are dependent on hugely long cooldowns, but they're dependent on some cooldowns, and Fnatic just aren't. So with the lead they have, even if they get a small hiccup, they can turn around and just go straight back in.
And Dubu's caught. Dubu's dead. There's no... Yeah. There's nothing. Nothing you can do there. Double Dagon from mid one and DJ. It's Forev. There's nothing to catch him there. But this is...
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Sorry, those are the modes of Disruptor, that's what I want to say. Yeah, you're chasing them or you're feeding. Those are like...
QO. Swapped back in, but 343 is going to give up his life for that aggressive move, and Fnatic might just back themselves away. But MVP QO, he's gone back for the Diffusal Blade. It's just such a difficult game for this Juggernaut.
Pack is Dagon 5, and Bounty is Dagon 4. These are like... The burst damage is just insane, and also when you level up your Dagon, the cooldown decreases substantially. So, I mean, Pux is now at, what, 15 seconds? Bounties is still at 20. And you better believe that Puck is going to be able to Dagon more than once in a fight, because it's the high likelihood, unless you just burst it down, catch it in your Chronosphere early on, it's probably going to have 15 seconds in the fight. MVPs sneak into the rush pit again. Worked for them the first time. It's gonna work again.
It is.
But last time they lost a big fight right after, and let's see if that happens again.
Setting up for this big fight as well as a haste rune on the deck, but Forev, he lands the Chrono onto Net, and they've actually zoned this one out with a good swap back, though Net is saved by 343, gives up his own life for this Static Storm, and Clinfield hold him out, but then goes Ohio, drags Febby up into the high ground, and this is where Fnatic maybe run forward, rampant through the ranks. Ohio jumps forward, and the Firefly is doing so much damage, but it's still a roar from MP onto Net, and they're trying to burn through, but QO, the zap, the take on the damage, QO's gone, the Aegis the Model will be popped, but MP still dropped over the sidelines. Mid one comes back into battle, and they'll look for QO again. Spin in one, but he doesn't have a TP. He cannot retreat. He cannot escape. And he cannot live.
Yeah. And it's funny, I was watching mid one chasing after the Faceless Void, And I was just thinking, that's one way you deal with the Faceless Void. You just have a Dagon 5, which deals 800 damage instantly. And Void's like, oh, I'm gonna just incrementally time walk little bits of damage. He got into like half HP and just Dagoned him. He was dead.
They've got buybacks on the Void and the Beastmaster.
Radiant's middle tower
But where is Net? Where is your Medusa? No boots of travel, and over in the dire jungle, it's the tier 3 takedown by Puck and Batrider.
are fortified.
As Courier comes in, and okay, Dagon level 5 across 2 heroes now. Scant, Bounty, and the Puck. A double zap. And tier 3 will drop and likely retreat from Fnatic. No, they're going to go for a bit of chip damage onto melee. Do they think they can accomplish this? I guess Medusa's joining the fight as well. Net's made the long walk down towards this mid lane from the jungle, and Forev just with a time dilation to slow things a little bit, but the zaps! There goes mid one, roared up with the Static Storm as well, 4 staffed away. He's going to try and save himself from this, but it's not available. And Net is over on the side, trying to hold him back a little bit, but he's running out of this mana. He's actually dropping low on the mana pool and being burnt out, but the swap back from 3-4-3 allows them to retreat, and they have to bail. They really have to get away from this. Forev, no chrono, 3 seconds time. Time Walker not available either, and he's stunned up by 3-4-3 after the zap from DJ TPing out, but no. Stopped in his tracks. Fnatic gave up more than really they should have.
Yeah, it was a little bit impulsive of mid one to just jump forward and see if he can quickly get a kill. And the Beastmaster and Disruptor both ready to roar him and silence him. It's meant to be much more difficult for them to kill the Puck, put it that way. And I think it's only on mid one himself that he puts himself in a position where they actually can focus him down that easily. So a little bit unnecessary again from Fnatic. Second time in this game. They've overreached a little bit, but just like the first time, I think it's mostly not a big deal.
They give a lot of gold away, but they don't give any real momentum away. 25,000 net worth lead gets chipped down a touch. But you're looking, the later this game goes, you still favor Fnatic, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like both,
Man,
both draft and playstyle.
Yeah, if the gold deficit changes at some point and MVP somehow have a 20,000 gold lead, then I think I might favor them in the late game. The Medusa can only do so much on its own, especially if you're catching it out. The stuff like Chrono, Static Storm, if the Necros... The Beastmaster's done so well to just have those Necros up against the Medusa this game, and that's what I was saying earlier, that Necros are good in this matchup, just because... Honestly, what are you supposed to do against them as Fnatic? Like, who attacks them? Who kills them? Everyone's just scared of them. The Medusa herself basically has to just attack them down, and I think she saves herself HP by deliberately killing the Necros.
You might even want to go a BKB at some point for your Medusa. But she's going into the Butterfly right now. I guess that's going to give you the evasion against these Necro units that you need. Talisman of Evasion is there, and yeah, with the Quarterstaff coming out and Ghost Scepter for the Puck, you've got an Ethereal Blade Puck, you've got a Butterfly Medusa, you have all of these tools that Fnatic need, and you've even got to jump in from Ohio onto Forev, and here comes the damage output from mid one, and DJ zaps him into oblivion! 60 seconds on the sidelines, there's no chrono.
And that's the reason he doesn't have buyback is because he bought a hood. That's Void buying a hood and still getting just completely burst down by magic damage through it.
Here go the racks. What's the plan? MVP, just give this one up. Don't defend. Ethereal Blade for mid one. There's the orb, he's going to jump forward. I can feel it. He's going to blink himself. Nope, nope, not going for it.
Radiant's middle barracks are
Usually when you see that all backwards, it's indicative of them wanting to jump in and kill somebody off, but
Radiant's middle barracks.
mid one being a little bit safe with his movements, doesn't want to die. Oh,
Yeah, he remembers last time getting roared in Static Storm.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. Diff Blade is there from QO, but he's slowed down by Net, and we've just seen the Beastmaster just cease to exist, but the gun's back in the Static Storm and swap back, mid one saved alive, but Stone Gaze catches 2 of them. Febby and Dubu being shredded here by the damage output of Net, while QO is trapped, stoned, completely screwed, with a chrono finally from Forev. Do they have any damage? Mid one looks like he's going to drop, but the Yosepter saves himself with the phase shift available in the blink as well. He's going to get out of this sticky situation. Are you really? Seriously going to survive? And GG is called. It's all over. This best of 5 will end 3-1 as Fnatic take the 3rd grand final qualifier from MVP in a row.
Yeah, and today I just feel like Fnatic were the better team. Very, very clearly. I think even the game MVP won, Fnatic had their window where they could have run away with it. They kind of failed in their window, and then they were against the Spectre, and Spectre did Spectre things, right? That's, you